Yeah, I thought I'd do a few of the smaller bulbs. We tend to go for the large impressive lamps and ignore the small ones. Before we do, I want to show you another item I picked up at the boot sale which gets used quite a bit. In fact, it's probably about, how long ago? 6 months ago? Well, this was picked up in a boot sale, brand new in its box, made by Osram, the German Osram, and it's a superb magnifying glass, or loupe as they say in the antique trade. It's got a lovely quartz halogen lamp which is battery powered in there by 4 batteries. Give 5.2 volts at half an amp, and this gets used quite a bit actually. So you've got an idea what turns up at boot sales, and that is one item. I think I gave £1 or a couple of pounds for it. I'm sure they cost them inside more than that to buy brand new. So yeah, that's one reason I do like boot sales. And well, the thing is, at the moment they've quietened down in England. In France and Germany they're still going quite strong, I understand from a friend out there. He tends to make a beeline to the boot sales, or the flea markets as they're called. And now, getting back to the lamps, I thought I'd put just a few odds and ends up. The reason I picked this up now was to check this lamp which I've just looked at. It's well, I was going to say an automobile lamp, but I don't think it is. It's a double pole. Normally the automobile lamps are the same shape as this were. I don't know about now, this is the old cars. They would have been a centre contact, but this one is not. It's by Philips. No, it's not. It's by Siemens. I had to check that because I just couldn't see it with my eyes. But it's by Siemens, 12 volts. Can't make out the actual wattage, but I'd say it's probably about 6 watts or 3 watts. There's a small indicator lamp, but as I say, this was probably out of a machine, I would have thought, as opposed to a motor vehicle. But had it have been with a single contact, then it could have well come out as a side light out of an old car, old motorbike, whatever. Now, I've shown these before in the past. See the filament there on the be livening up a bit, don't know. These were used for various applications. They were made in various voltages, including 240, and as far as I can remember, the old lifts used to use these on the floor indicators. When you press the buttons either to go up or down, there would be a little light behind them, I think a red or a green, and it was lit by one of these lamps. That was in one particular brand, I believe. It's the candelabra cap or base, and this one, so I'm not looking too deep. I think it's got it on there, what the value is. My eyes are playing up a bit today. So put that one down. Christmas tree lights. I pulled out a couple of sets of Christmas lights out of the loft yesterday. I'm hoping I'm going to see them all working on a trip to France later in the year. Friend's taking them over there, and I think he'll get them working. Well, they are actually working with a few spares, and that is the particular type of lamp. They're 110, 120 volts. Quite a well-made lamp, actually. The string of lights, they look nice. Similar is this lamp here. These were sold over here for, well, I can show it, for one of those, or similar. This is a light which lights up when it's dark on movement. I actually picked this up in Holland, I believe. It's Continental, but it fits into our system through an adapter, and it's very good. Well, that takes this style of lamp. I don't know whether it's that would take a candelabra thread or a small Edison. This is a small Edison. You can compare the two. They're the two sizes. This one is a candelabra thread, and this one's a small Edison screw. It's slightly bigger. But they did, as I say, make them to fit that unit, or units like that, night lights, with this style of lamp. They're either made in 240 volts or 110, 120. Now, moving on. We spoke about old motor vehicles. Well, when I was young, this would have been the type of lamp that was in the actual headlight. It's a single filament, which meant that you'd have to have another auxiliary lamp or another set of lights to dip. This would have been on main beam, and as it's a single filament job, that is all it would in fact do. It could have been used as a fog lamp. If you look at the colour, they call this cadmium yellow, and it was thought to increase the ability to drive in fog. Whether it was or not, I don't know. But there's the etch. I think it's showing up. I hope it does. Let me put it down a bit closer. This camera's been taking a little bit longer to actually click and show what's on there. Well, if it hasn't come out, I can read it. It's Criselco. You've got a number, that's the number of the lamp. 12 volts. That 30, I think that's 36. It's either 36 or 24 watts. It's 12 volts. Made in England. And it's got the cadmium yellow glass. Pre-focus cap. This was known as a British pre-focus. Don't ask me the number. I know someone that will know the number. Unfortunately, I'm number blind. So, Alec, what's the number of that? It's a single pole job. If it was a double filament lamp, there'd be two contacts on there. The other contact is obviously the base itself. It's probably writing. No, there's not. I thought there'd be writing around there. Yes, there is. It'll probably say British. Yes, it does. It says British pre-focus. And that's what the lamps were like in old cars and motorcycles of the time. I'm probably going back to the 50s. My father had a motorbike, but that had a small bayonet cap, and probably show you one of those lamps somewhere along the line. I've got quite a few lamps that are out of vehicles, but a lot of them are upstairs hanging on the wall. Yeah, that's your little cadmium yellow. Why it's called that, I don't know. There's the typical filament arrangement inside. It's brand new, it's never been used. It happens to be one in the collection. Now we finish up with a more larger lamp. This is what it is, 17 watt, 6.3 volts. Very unusual voltage. I suppose, if you like, an unusual lamp. Okay, it looks like a typical reflector lamp. There's the size of it, about 4 inches long, 4 or 5, yeah. The hand's 4 inches, so, and my hand's no exception. And what we got on there, it's called Long Life Sealed Beam. Now, normally you think of a sealed beam lamp as a heavy glass job with a pair of terminals at the back and the filament inside. Well, alright, it's a filament inside this, but this to my mind is just a normal lamp shape. But they call it sealed beam. 17 watt, 6.3 volts. I would think that it was possibly used as a display light. It's certainly something which I don't think would be used now. It's quite well made. There's a heat shield in there. And I've just noticed you've got a little bit of writing around the cap. You can see it. I still haven't got the glasses working right yet. I've got to go to the opticians and get some reading glasses. As I had the cataracts, but it means that your fixed focus long distance is perfect, but looking at close up do need reading glasses. I'm sort of managing on an old pair. There's what the writing says. And reading it, it's got 6.3 volt, 17 volts, the same as it's got on the edge, with the added information, Korea. Korean lamps seem to be quite good actually, and this one is certainly no exception. I don't know the age. It's one I got in a job lot, and these job lots are getting more scarce by the day. So, you know, if you have a chance to get them, so certainly grab them. Anyhow, that is all on that little batch. I'll push those up to for YouTube, and hopefully that will be appearing. My lamp in the meantime has gained full power. You can see it there. It's quite a nice lamp actually. I'm quite impressed with that. I had it in a loft for a long time. I thought, well, it's about time it had an airing. There are a couple of other lamps up there as well. So anyhow, thanks again for watching. Any questions please ask, and I'll try and get back to you. As I say, I'm just very impressed with this magnifying glass. It is ideal. It gets used quite a lot actually. The first time I mentioned it on YouTube, silly really, because it was a blooming good buy. So anyhow, thanks again. Any questions please ask. I'll try and get back to you. I've cleared all my correspondence with YouTube at the moment, so I can honestly say with a clear conscience that I've answered everything. So anyone else has got any comments, I will do the same. Anyway, I think I'm going to treat myself to a cup of tea. I'm gasping, so I'm going to have a cup of tea. So once again, thanks again, and yeah, we will. Well, I shall carry on having a look at eBay, because we've got to sort out stuff that we're working on, and see what's up there for grabs. Okay, thanks again for everyone. Thank you.